Mic is on. 1 2 1 2. The mic is on, guys. One of my greatest friends, Chloe, just saw Cowboy Carter, which means that now I can legally talk about virtually everything about the Cowboy Carter tour. So spoilers, if you haven't seen Cowboy Carter tour yet, you guys should go see it. This is the Pride episode. As of right now, this is July 1st. And I wanted to, okay, so I was just going to use this episode as a way to talk about Love Island because one thing about me, I have many things to say about it. And we're going to talk about it at some point. The trust. Hey, 1 2 1 2. But I thought about this literally in the car on my way home from getting my coffee, my 1 2 1 2 coffee. Guys, this was also, let me talk about this for a second. If you work here, and you were the girl that rang me up, why did you charge me $10? All I did was to ask for a large iced mocha with oat milk, which would have been $6, which not reasonable, but in this economy, I will pay. Yeah. That's on the cheaper end, if I'm being honest. Why'd you charge me $10? Because I didn't see the total until after I put my card in, and I said, oh, okay. I sent a text to my mom about it. Don't you worry. My mom got the rundown. I want to talk. On my way home, I was like, I want to do a reflection on Pride, like Pride Month and Happy Pride Month. But like, think about the meme. Like, every time I say Pride Month, think about the meme where it's like Pride Month and then it like grayscales into demon. That like weird Republican Christian conservatives utilize. I'm like, oh, you guys are freak bobs, like freak Bobbiana, freak Bobbiana Grande. And I think this 2025's Pride Month felt different. I'm gonna jump right into it. I think it felt different. For starters, this was the first Pride Month we experienced under the Trump administration again. So this is the first year of his administration we had Pride Month, and what he did in between, this is a starting point. What he did in between, his inauguration and now, there's a lot. It's damaging. He has blood on his hands, and he will continue to have blood on his hands with the way that our system currently is set up to fail queer and trans people, particularly queer youth. It's ironic coming from the same party that consistently says that they want to highlight younger generations. We want to set up our economy for generations to come. Let's keep world going. And this is what's going on. So that was just a starting point. And on top of that, we are still experiencing genocides across the world, particularly the genocide of the Palestinian people. We have the Sudanese genocide ongoing right now. Indigenous land is still being occupied, stolen, and indigenous blood is spread across that, including like a lot of it, a majority of it, and most of it is on the United States. We have a hand and play in all of it. And I think a lot of queer people this year began recognizing that a lot of our own activism is not just US based. And I think one of the most beautiful things about the queer community is how intersectional a lot of it is, and a lot of us are. And granted, I'm speaking this from a white male perspective, white man-ish, if you will. But I wanted to kind of talk about that today and like talk about a lot of this. And also, for those who don't know, I graduated college. I'm 22. I graduated college with my degree in justice and law with criminology. So I have a bit of a legal background, but with minors in sociology and women's gender and sexuality studies. And my entire study is geared around that and how the legal system fails LGBTQ plus people. And I'm getting my master's degree starting in the fall in women's gender and sexuality studies to focus on LGBTQ plus politics and HIV status. And I'll be pursuing my PhD shortly after that in sociology. So this is quite really up my area of expertise. I'm going to do a lot of LGBTQ politics and in the media. So this is not only like, like being a sociologist, you see the pain in the world now, and it's like, oh, we're doomed. Oh, but like also, I think a lot of people who say that we're doomed, I feel like I think a lot of queer people that say we're doomed, this is the first time that they felt in danger. And I think a lot of it is coming from like cisgendered white queer folks, and particularly stuff that I've seen. My old college campus, the campus that I'm an alumni of, has a lot of that. And I think a lot of them don't understand how fucked the world has been since since the colonization of the states. And it took me until college to realize that. And I feel like it's very interesting that you kind of see the people where it never really touched in the first place, and the people who benefit from it, and they keep saying that we're doomed. And I'm like, oh, guys, what? Like, wait, glad you woke up, but like, good morning. Like, hey, hey, like the fact that like Pride in and of itself was kickstarted as a, wait, Pride in and of itself started and was kickstarted and spearheaded by the Black trans women in the United States. And they are also the most vulnerable in the United States, and I would also even argue around the world. And also I want to lay the law right now that trans women are women and trans men are men, and I don't know why that's a crazy concept for some of you people. It's insane to me, and I think it, like, what the fuck? Like, sorry, because now I'm thinking of J.K. Rowling and like all her turf bullshit and like how much money she has gotten from that. And if we were to utilize that money into actually helping the queer community and like trans women and just anyone who is marginalized and not J.K. Rowling, like genuinely change could fucking happen. And here she is making millions and arguably hundreds of millions of dollars off of her fucking hate campaign. So J.K. Rowling, fuck you. Fuck you with my entire being. And anyone who thinks like her and supports her, fuck you too. But that is also kind of why Pride became a very big focal point this year, like turf ideology. And if you don't know what turf is, it means trans exclusive radical feminist. Turf. Derp. Derp. They're taking over. They're taking over. Terrible Trump impression. Took a shit at Chili's and I said, I hate gay people. Imagine. Like, holy shit. And I think also, I think queer people need to know their history, and I think a lot of queer people don't know their history, and that is why the queer community. Let me also separate this for a second. It's very interesting to me how many people aesthetically are gay, yet are not living their life as queer. Sit with that. Like, a lot of, and it's a majority white gay people doing this, exuding this energy. I also, speaking of, I have queer tattooed on my arm for this exact reason that, like, see, you can, if you're watching the YouTube, you can see it. You can see it on YouTube. YouTube. You can see it. It's a queer tattoo. It's with a flower on it. But like, to be queer means to inherently resist. And I think a lot of white gay folks are not resisting. I think they're assimilating. And this begs the question of like assimilation versus resistance. And I think Pride Month this year felt a very big emphasis on this because I found it was very interesting. Okay, for starters, I did not go to a Pride Parade this year. Usually I always go. It wasn't by choice. There was not really one in my area. And I'm also kind of like in a not heavily populated area. Like, this is my hometown, and hey, I could write a fucking essay on this shit. But there weren't really many openly gay people where I was. So I was like the gay kid, right? And it's plus, being a gay man, you're going to experience a lot of like toxic masculinity thrown on you from other men. So it's like dealing with that, and then also not blending in with like the girls. Like, I was just kind of like, hey. And then it wasn't until like my junior and senior year where I kind of got like, felt very comfortable in my own. And I still experience shit, which I will always talk about too. But they kind of like cradled me a little bit and brought me back to earth. So shout out to them. Shout out to Snorlax and Munchlax. Hope you guys are doing amazing. I know you are. I keep up with you on Instagram. And sorry that I have not talked to you guys in a hot minute. So love you guys down. If you're listening, my major shout out to you guys. Snorlax was the name of the group chat. So, or Munchlax because of y'all know why it's called Munchlax now, so I'll just keep it at that. But shout out to Munchlax. And I got to college, and it was the first time I really experienced not being the gay kid and being a queer person. And I need to stop looking at myself in the camera. Holy shit balls. Like, bro, I look tired, gross, and bloop, bloop, like bloop. Um, and when I got to college, I went to school in Washington, D.C., and that gay, 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 gay city, gay city, gay city, gay people. But that entire experience opened my eyes up to how to be a queer person and how to exist in the United States as a queer focused mindset, which is why I'm pursuing the career that I want to, and just kind of like make education for queer people accessible about our queer history, about queer topics, about the queer movement, and make it free and accessible, and all queer people should be able to have it. And like, I want to teach, and I want to educate, and I want to do all that stuff. And throughout my studies, you learn a lot about how to exist as a non-conforming person and not rock with conformity, and like even in the queer community being like, I'm very comfortable being cisgendered and toying around with what it means to be masculine and feminine, and I love that about myself. But that a lot of times is not celebrated in cisgendered white gay areas, and it's just kind of like, well, we have to be this way because that's what straight people want us to be. That is the whole idea of assimilation versus resistance. It's like, do we as queer people owe it to straight people in a hetero-dominated society to assimilate to their idea of what it means to be gay? Or do we say fuck that and go our own route and live in our own bubble with like the pressure and the fear of more persecution? Now, that entire split was created by heteronormativity. Like, heteronormativity closes out queer people in a way that makes them almost choose now. Like, you have to kind of choose how you want to express yourself if you're in a room full of heterosexual people or straight people or even cisgendered people for that matter. Like, even queer people who are part of cisgender, like, who are cisgendered, like, genuinely pressure folks who are gender non-conforming, non-binary, trans inclusive, like all of this. It's like there is pressure, and it's like y'all just can't let like that. That's what it means to be queer. It's like, I'm not abiding by your rules. I'm kind of just doing it on my own thing, and you have to accept it because we're not going anywhere. At the end, and at the end of the day, and then she said, "What was that one thing? What? Oh, I just heard. Sorry, really, Trixie and Katya is really just like nick knock, nick knock, nick knock, like knocking at the door of my dome." Um, and where was I going with this? Oh, 2025 Pride. 2025 Pride very much felt like a highlight on what it means to assimilate versus resist. And I think now more than, I don't want to say now more than ever, because I feel like that is just regurgitated and meant to appeal to politicians. Now more than ever. Girl, how long have fucking anyone who's marginalized felt the blunt end of oppression? Come on, like really? But I think 2025 is kind of a way that people kind of felt a fire under their ass, who long avoided the feeling of fear a little bit, to kind of start paying attention to queer politics, to kind of start paying attention to queerness on a global scale. Because again, there are queer Palestinians being bombed in the face. There are queer Palestinian children who are carrying the bodies of their brothers and sisters, and it's like, they exist over there too. And that's why I'll never fight for pinkwashing is a crazy thing, because it's like, let's talk about pinkwashing. Actually, let me pull up the definition of pinkwashing, and then I'll add on to it, because again, this is why, thank God I have my laptop. I'm so good at this fucking job. Hello, I'm so good at this. Pinkwashing. Pinkwashing. Pinkwashing refers to when a state or organization appeals to LGBTQ plus rights in order to deflect attention from its harmful practices. That was given to us by the Jewish Voice for Peace. If y'all are not keeping up with the Jewish Voice for Peace, I strongly urge you. But that's their definition. Another solid definition is from here. Pinkwashing is a term to describe a variety of marketing and political strategies aimed at promoting products, countries, people, or entities to LGBTQ plus people, or using LGBTQ plus related labels in order to be perceived as progressive, modern, and tolerant. And this very much was birthed out of ongoing Zionism and the Zionist occupation in Palestine. And we are seeing this right now, where the Israeli government has consistently utilized LGBTQ plus voices, queer people, to say, like, how can you be queer and, like, support the Palestinian people? Well, they don't say the Palestinian people, you know what they say, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be against, like, they always also say, like, spend one day in Gaza and you'll see what we're talking about. And it's like, y'all's government ain't the best towards queer people either. Y'all are the epitome of pinkwashing. Like, they utilize media propaganda and media strategies to paint themselves as, like, a very progressive, like, for the gays country. And it's like, well, also the United States is kind of doing that too, and so are other, like, big imperial powers across the world. And it's like, y'all barely, like, look at our fucking president. Like, are you fucking kidding? Like, look at who just got voted into office. Like, we're not some fucking progressive on top of the world country. Like, anyways, I think a lot of people started paying attention to the pinkwashing, the rainbow washing of corporate entities. How, like, look at how a lot of them kind of pulled out of their support for, like, Pride during June. Like, they used to change their logos, and they used to show up at Pride floats, and then they kind of got clocked for it. And then they saw that they actually kind of served no benefit from this shit, and they pull out of it. So I was like, oh, you're only in it for the money? Okay. Also, there is a crying baby outside. Hey. Don't piss me off. Disturbing the peace. And I think a lot about how I actually just forgot what I was going to say. Hey, good morning. I still can't believe I paid $10 for this. I can't. Mind you, I came back to my hometown to be like, oh, I'm gonna save money. Like, save money before I go off to, like, I'm moving down to Florida. Don't say a word. Guys, wait, pause. So I, landed and secured a job in Florida to save a lot of money to get my master's degree. I'm getting my master's degree in Florida. And also, that work needs to be done down there. So before any of y'all dog on the South, we can acknowledge that a lot of these red states fucking suck when it comes to their politics. But y'all keep ignoring the queer folks down there. You keep ignoring the queer people down there. History is doomed to repeat itself. You know what I mean? That's all I'm going to say. And that work needs to be done down there, and I really want to do it. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Sue me. But I got a job down there, and I landed a job. It is like, it's a job at a university, and it legally required at the state of Florida, because of the kind of job that I have to get a state of Florida oath and loyalty, like, paper signed by me, that I pledge loyalty to the state of Florida and the U.S. Constitution, and have it notarized. Hey, what? What in dystopic hell are we talking about? Hey, let's be for real for a second. What? I'm sorry? Come again. I got that. I was filling out all my paperwork because a lot of it just got released, and I was like, what's this last thing? State of Florida oath. Like, when I tell you my damn jaw dropped, the jaw dropped that the bats flew out. Like, that shit was horrible. Horrible. Like, an oath. I pledge my loyalty to the state of Florida. I pledge my... Who the fuck I don't? I pledge... What? I will never pledge my loyalty and my... That's so, like, dictatorship vibes. I don't know. That's very, rooted in fascism that I pledge my loyalty and my oath to this a certain state. I'm not doing. Fuck you. Like, and you know what? To my job, I love you and I cannot wait to learn from you. And if you're watching this, I'm not dogging this at you nor the university because I know you are required to send that to everyone that you're hiring. I'm talking to the government. Okay. Thumbnail. I won't use that one as the thumbnail. I just got bored. Like, whoa. Why? See, here's my issue now. Because to require someone to start and begin a job and be hired at a job in this economy. By the way, I'm making pennies, but we need to start somewhere. I'm working unpaid right now. Couldn't land a damn job. Don't get me started about the job market. I couldn't land shit with a college degree. By the way, graduated very fucking well, was heavily involved, brought queer culture to a dance club, like an aspect. Look, guys, shout out AU Emotion. Except some of those like little really ran their mouth about that club, so like never mind. But like love my friends and my baddies and my girls. Like love my guys, love my cast. Except for one girl. Love my cast. You guys rock. I love you guys. Miss you guys every day, single day. I watch the dance videos maybe once a week. I really miss dancing and performing, which I'll be talking about very soon because I need to talk about how much I miss dancing and performing and why I need to be on the Beyonce Cowboy Carter tour, but that's beside me. Beyonce hired me for your Act 3 tour. Thank you. What was I talking about? Oh, state of Florida. The fact that you are requiring people who work in I believe it's the public sector is what they kind of worded as who has to sign this, make them take an oath and of their loyalty. Is this Grey's Anatomy? Like I'm not a doctor. Like I'm not signing a fucking doctor's oath. Like, oh, I have qualms. Qualms. Don't piss me off. Wait, shout out Christina Yang. Miss you down. That's all. Where's I going with this? Yeah, I forgot. And I just really don't feel like tapping into my brain to think about that again. And oh, I'm gonna talk about how much I miss performing and dancing because Happy Pride Month. So if you don't know, I choreographed dances. I choreographed full-length pieces for a dance crew on campus, and it was the joy of my life to do that. And that was so cool to watch my creative process be put on people and people wanting to come back and do my dances. And like, it was just such a privilege. And 4 out of the 5 of them were Vogue pieces. And anything that I passed down to them was passed down through me. And I did it with ease and carefulness and precision and constantly working my brain over time to just make sure everything was right and that I wasn't doing anything incorrectly wrong. Like everything that I passed down to people was passed down through me, like to me, through people, right? Everything was for the people that came before us, and I will swear by that. And Happy Pride Month! Shout out to the ballroom community. But that and also I was in other pieces too. Like I was in like advanced pieces, like intermediate pieces, and I just had like the best time ever. Learned from my friends, got to learn about my friends, got to choreograph my friends. Like we all got to dance together. Like it was a joy. It was one of the joys of my life, and I really mean that. Take out the politics of like a university dance organization. Just to be able to do that and have that outlet was very much a privilege, and I understand my place in it. And like, yeah, I loved it, and I had a great time, and I miss all my dance friends. Down, like some of my dance friends are my best friends. Like I miss you guys more than life, and I can't wait to see where we all prosper, and I can't wait to see some of you on tour. Guys, can we be honest? Like let's shout out my friend Jen. I can't wait for you to be on someone's tour, and you got to tell me when you're going because I'm gonna be barricade, and I'm going to scream my ass off when I see you up there. Okay, guys, Chloe, get up there too. Bridget, Molly, get up there too. Okay, Sanaya, get on stage. Go front row. Go. I miss that creativity, and this is gonna segue into why I am feeling. I'm gonna rant about myself. Sorry. Oh, sue me, sue me. I miss. I don't feel like I'm a creative person anymore. I do not have the creativity and the creative brain. I started reading The Artist Way because of this, by the way. If you haven't read it, 10 out of 10 recommend, but holy shit. I'm feeling lost with the intersections of my creative process and my spiritual being, and how, like, what do I believe in? What do I feel? Like, how do I tap into my emotions to connect to something else? Bring that out in the creative process. And I thought I would start feeling that way when I started this podcast, and I definitely do. Okay, one thing about me, I'll rant and ramble, but I miss that art of a visual performance. I miss that art of performing, and I wish I kind of got into it earlier so that I could build myself up a little bit and like do industry work and all that stuff. Because like, talent aside, I prefer. One thing about Branden, I can fuck up a move, but let me fucking perform. I will get on that stage and I will give my fucking everything. Whether I hit those dances or beats or not, I will give you my everything. Trust. I will give my face. I will give fucking body. I will give my leg. I will give everything. Okay. And I miss that and just how good I felt about myself doing it. It was like I never felt, even when I was dancing and if I messed up, I never felt bad about myself. I always was just like, let me just work harder for it. It's true. I've talked about this many times. And I think with how passionate that dance organization was and not focused on perfection, that's what I miss. That idea, the consistently wanting to do more and get better and like elevate, I guess. And I miss that a lot. And granted, I'm 22, I'm 22, but like, it's one thing that was always consistent, and it was a routine for me to just like go dance, go perform, go practice, go rehearse, like have fun dancing in like little gyms, and like we just like came up with like a 1-2, or like we did little workshops with each other. Like that was consistently elevating myself, and I feel like now, right when I started to turn my own leaf of like, fuck, I want to do this forever. Like right as it ends, I realized I want to do that forever. It was bad, and I really just like felt down about it, and I was like, oh, missing this a lot. Um, and I think it was a nice breather, and I think the fact that I don't have that outlet anymore and I'm away from those outlets, like there's nothing here for me. Like this lovely, beautiful area that I grew up in serves no purpose to me anymore. And it as much as it sucks to hear, it's like even DC, I don't even think DC serves me no purpose, but I wasn't done there yet. You know what I mean? And I think my creativity and my creative processes, processes, process, boof. I just heard. Sorry. Um, this is not a comedy episode. I'm gonna throw you out there. I'm not. Yeah. Blowing raspberries. That also, that creative, back into it. That creative process also helped me a lot realize how comfortable I am with my queerness and how to express myself. Like I stunted the fuck down in damn heels pieces. Like since I started, I would my two styles that were mine were hip hop and heels. Every single semester, I did a hip hop and heels piece, and those two felt me so connected to my masculinity and also my femininity in a way that I don't think I will ever achieve again. Truly. Um, I stunted down in fucking thigh highs for 3 semesters, stunted down in boot heels and wore fishnets because I just felt stunning. I wore shorts. I had a great time, leather jacket. Like I really connected to my masculinity when it came to heels pieces. I did. And when it came to hip hop pieces, the hip hop that I did in that organization allowed me to tap into my femininity a little bit and how I can show that through dance. And like I felt fantastic. I like, not to like toot my own horn, but like hip hop is my style. Sorry. Like that shit. That Sanaya and Molly, if you guys are listening, and Nikki. You guys really tapped me. You guys made me tap into something that I don't think I'll find for the rest of my life. Sorry, sounds terrible, but appreciate y'all. And Bridget, oh Bridget, wait, Bridget was also Bridget was my first hip hop piece, guys. Hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thought shit. Went crazy. And my heels choreographers. Molly and Sanaya, Bridget, and Lila Rose. Miss you guys down. Guys, can we talk about Dance For You? If y'all were in Dance For You and you're listening, we forgot about her too soon. Like, whoa. Crazy accent that I just threw on there. We forgot about Dance For You too soon, and I don't have the pictures saved on my computer, but just know there would be one right here. And we looked fucking good, gorgeous, stunting, like, turned Tinta Aguilera, like, whoa. We looked fire. Tonight I wanna dance for you. Pop it. Guys, listen to Dance For You by Beyonce. Then you'll come back to me and you'll be like, oh, I get it now. Where's I gonna go with all this? Shout out Vanilla Mace. I love you. That's all. Like, literally zero reason to bring that up. Like, I just love Vanilla Mace and I need to talk about it. Yeah. Wait. I'm gonna talk about one more thing really quick, and it's gonna be really great and awesome. Segueing this very queer episode, gay episode. I started thinking a lot about how queer people love the idea of horror movies, and there's something, and like the idea of also villains. Okay, there's something to be said about any Disney villain, any Disney princess villain, and how they are all, I believe, inherently queer or gay. And let's think about it for a second. The big one that comes to mind is Ursula. Okay, Ursula herself, at like, you know, the figure and the visualization of Ursula was taken inspiration from drag queens, and specifically Divine. And if you don't know Divine, picture here. Divine is a legend, is an actress, and rest in power to Divine and all the work that she's done. But Ursula, the villain from Little Mermaid, was modeled after Divine. And that should kind of segue into why I think a lot of the Disney villains are inherently queer. Let's also talk about Jafar from Aladdin. That's a gay man. Like, a lot of them want that, like, a lot of the villains and Scar from Lion King, or Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog. There is this underlying queerness about them that makes them very appealing to queer audiences. And like, everyone loves a good villain. And it's like, look at all of their stories, and a lot of them are rooted in misunderstanding. A lot of them are rooted in forgotten. They're overshadowed. They're disrespected. Like, take Scar, for example. Like, when you watch The Lion King 2, or if you've watched like the second Lion King, you understand why Scar is the way he is. Or it's like that, or Ursula is like the sibling, and she was treated like garbage and sentenced to her Ursula's, whatever the fuck is called. I'm not a fucking Disney adult, okay? Bear with me. Tinkering on the brink though, because one thing about me, I love my Marvel. I'm trying to think of who else. Who else is a villain? Like a big villain. Who are the Disney villains? Pause. Hades from Hercules. Also, the idea, Hades in and of itself. Greek mythology lesson. Hades himself is very much a tale in Greek mythology about like what is deemed as wrong. Like Hades himself is kind of like, granted, he's the god of the underworld, the god of the underworld, and he controls the underworld and like has a say in like how death and mortality and all that stuff. But there's beauty in that. Here's why. Hades is kind of like a testament to what really is deemed as quote unquote right and wrong. And like Hades himself has like had tales told about him where he's like homosexuality basically among the gods was very common. But there was one Greek god who really did not like the fact that homosexuality exists, not because of the actual like existence of homosexuality, but because like a partner cheated on him with another person of the same sex. And that was very common amongst the gods of like sex and erotic and like the erotic and homosexuality and like same-sex attraction and polyamory and like all that stuff. Hades never really agreed with that. And it was like then the idea of like free will, where it's like, well, why, like they essentially have free will and they're like kind of like, you know, acting on what they are attracted to. It's like, why is that bad? Or like Hercules, which is like Hercules was kind of like the Romanized saying of his name. So Hercules is one of the biggest names in Greek mythology and like mythology in general, even in Roman mythology. And it's like he was very much a queer person. He had many boy toys. Like there was, what was that one? Hyacinth? There was a tale of Hercules and a human male, and it's very it's a tragic story. I'm looking it up. Is it Hylas? Hylas? Hylas. If I'm wrong, let me know. But Heracles and Hylas were together, and a certain special parent of his did not like that, and it was like, well, we're the gods. We like if we created this shit, like then we can do it. You know what I mean? Heracles. He's best known for his disappearance during the Argonautic expedition, where he was abducted by water nymphs while fetching water at the spring. This event deeply affected Heracles, who searched for him in vain, ultimately leading him being left behind by the Argonauts. Yes, Hylas was going to fetch water at a spring. There, he was captivated by the beauty of the nymphs who inhabited it and was drawn into the water. And then Heracles was devastated, and he experienced his first heartbreak of like with a man, and that was it was a very big thing about like fate and like all that stuff and like attraction and like all that stuff. But it's also kind of untold like whether Hylas actually like died, or whether, because he was a mortal man, or Hylas was transformed into some kind of like creature or godlike being that like kind of followed Heracles because he was really in love with Heracles and like all that stuff. And I think Hades is a great testament of like, you can't just like demonize something that like exists for arguably exists for no reason at all. It's like, it's something that just exists, and it is. And Hades was never really for that, and Hades was really much someone who was like, this is for people who really just he never even really argued the idea of like deserving death in the underworld, or like in like a Christian sense, like hell. Like no one really deserves hell. It's like kind of like the actions that lead you to being tested. And it's like homosexuality and like same-sex attraction and polyamory and all that stuff was never demonized. What was demonized was cheating, was abuse, was, you know, sexual violence. Like that kind of got twisted and blamed on queer folks because straight people just deflected it. And Greek mythology touches on this a lot, where it's like there's the idea of deflection onto someone that's easy, and I think people always just saw the idea of like homosexuality as something that was just easy to blame, and that definitely translates into now, you know, imperialism, like why we have a massive rise of like anti-queer rhetoric, and then segue into Disney, because one thing about me, I'll make the connection. It's that Hades was he was always someone that misunderstood. Like I don't think Hades ever actually wanted to rule the underworld. he just accepted it because that was his job, that was his duty, and he made it his own. And Hades felt for, according to Greek mythology sources that I have studied, but also they're like very like interpretative, so like bear with me. But like also would love to talk about this with someone who like is an expert with Greek mythology. Just know I have a Greek mythology tattoo. It's on my thigh. It is of Apollo, cause gay as fuck. But my favorite tattoo I have too. Oh, I want to add more. Oh, um, there. Where's it going with this? Hades. You gotta kind of have justice for Hades in a little bit, and a lot of queer people feel for Hades. And look at the way that he's even portrayed in the movie. Aside from everything that I just talked about in the past, maybe like 5 minutes, that's a gay man. Hades is a gay man. Maybe slap a he they in there. Like maybe he'll slap a they them pronoun in there. And it's like he's like Hades is a he they. Like shout out ICU, I'm with you. But yeah. Also look at his little minions. Gay as fuck. Gay. Gay. But yeah, shout out to Hades. And like shout out to the Disney villains. Like why queer people love Disney villains. But that also segues to why queer people love horror. It's just like that's just something so outlandish and far-fetched where it's like we are kind of treated as that, and it's a very, very interesting topic that I love to think about. Okay. God, I was really gonna talk about Love Island, and I haven't done that yet. I haven't done that yet. Maybe okay. Also, I haven't caught up with Love Island, so like maybe next episode I'll talk about Love Island finally. Or should I just wait until the series is over? Because I've literally written thoughts down on my laptop of like shit I want to talk about when it comes to Love Island, and it's like, yeah, bear with me. But yeah. Yay team. Okay. I think I'm just gonna cap it for here because like I'll just literally keep rambling, but yeah. Guys, tune in on YouTube and Spotify. It's not on Spotify. Go tune in, listen if you don't want to really watch it, put it in the background, appreciate all and any support. Share this with your friends and family and all your people and all that stuff and have a great time. Follow me on, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, all that stuff. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep ranting and rambling. Also, we'll take any and all ideas for topics and podcast ideas. I would love to have a theme each episode. I try to. This was gay month. Shout out gay people. But yeah. Okay. Peace and hearts. Bloop!